It's the final game until the Olympics. Let's see if we can pull out a win here. Exciting matchup coming up next.
Goal. Avellini, here comes Peyton. And Peyton is in for the touchdown.
Unbelievable. Takes a Kane. 2-on-1. Hustling back his point over. Shot. Score! Patrick Kane in overtime.
Ahead of Jenks. Uribe charges throws. Out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the circle. Puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over. And the Bulls have won.
From the pocket, so Ferguson was on the run, and you're going to see Wilbur Marshall come here and really flatten him. Oh, boy, did he really hit him.
Moving right in over the shot.
Looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all. It is caught.
Here's Bernard. Feeds it back. Hazar scores from Hazar in overtime. And the Hawks win it 4-3.
Hello, everybody. My name is Adrian Ired, and welcome back to Da Superfan Network. The last game until the Olympics. The Olympic break is coming up soon, and it's the Hawks' last game of the season. They are traveling to Columbus, where they will take on the Blue Jackets for their final time. These two teams played recently on January 30th, where the Blue Jackets won 4-2. This is the second of their two meetings that they'll have this year. This game starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, so probably very soon because I'm getting out this video really, really late. I've been busy editing and things. But the Blue Jackets are 28-20-7, and they have won their last 6 games. Their past 6 games, they have all won. In the past 10, they're 9-1-0. That's pretty ridiculous for the Blue Jackets. One of those wins in the last 6 being against these very Blackhawks. The Chicago Blackhawks are 22-25-9 and are on a 1-game win streak after beating San Jose 6-3, and they're trying to get back going and hopefully get some confidence going into the break. Some players to watch out for. Charlie Coyle is always a factor. He's got 10 points, 5 goals in the last 5 games. 10 points in the last games. And for the Hawks, Ilya Mikheyev. Are we going to trade him? Are we not going to trade him? I'm not really sure. Do I want them to trade him? I don't know. There is one guy I do want him to trade, and I will talk about that more later when we come to the lineups. But I don't know. He's gotten 6 points in the last 5 games, and he's been looking pretty good. He's a really strong penalty killer, since the Hawks still have the number 1 penalty kill. Hawks with the number 1 penalty kill at 85.6% and a power play of 19.5%, while Columbus is 27th in penalty kill, 76.9%, and they're 18th on the power play with 19.9%. So, going to be very interesting if the Hawks can get on the power play and keep going with their power play, hopefully not getting any duds. They should be looking really good. The starting goaltenders for night. Spencer Knight with a 16-15-7 record will be starting tonight. 2.61 goals against average and a save percentage of .909. This will be his 4th game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. In his prior 3, he's 2-1 with a save percentage of .928 and a goals against average of 2.34. For Columbus, it's Jet Greaves. He's 17-12-6. He's got a goals against average of 2.69, a save percentage of .90, and a .908. This is his first appearance against the Blackhawks. Some interesting lineup changes for Chicago. Let's start with Columbus, though. Marchment, Fantilli, and Marchenko on the first line. Marchenko is a little banged up, so it will be debated if he starts. I'm pretty sure he will start. Wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. If he doesn't start, that'd be pretty shocking to me. That injury that he has is, as I'm bringing it up, he has it's an illness day to day. So he may be in, he may be out. If he's out, everything will probably shift up, and they will probably put in Ludestrom because he's a center left winger. So we'll see what happens and just move everything around. But illness, I think he'll play tonight. Second line, Voronkov, Monahan, and Johnson. Sillinger, Coyle, and Oliver on the third. Hainan, Jenner, and Wood on the fourth line. For the defensive pairings, it's Werenski, Severson, Provorov, Mattychuk, Fabro, and Gudbranson as the defensive pairings. For Chicago, something very interesting. Ryan Green is a scratch. I don't know why you would scratch him. Because there's a guy that deserves a scratch way more than this guy. Nazar, Bedard, and Bertuzzi on the first line. Teravainen, Moore, and Burakovsky. Burakovsky is the guy I want traded. Burakovsky has not been good recently. He's been off. He's been awful. He has been bad. And to have them bench and scratch Green and put Burakovsky in is really frustrating to me. I think we need to trade Burakovsky. Donato, Dickinson, Mikheyev on the third line, and Foligno, Doc, and Slager on the fourth line. Vlasic and Crevier, Kaiser, Renzel, Grzelcyk, and Murphy are the defensive pairings. Back to what I was saying with Burakovsky. Burakovsky has been horrible. He has been really, really bad. I thought getting Burakovsky was going to be a good thing. It has not been. It has not been a good thing. He's been really lackluster. In 50 games, he's got 10 goals, 20 assists, and 30 points, but he hasn't registered a single point in quite some time. The last time he recorded a point was all the way back against Boston on January 17th when he got an assist in a 5-2 loss. Before that, it was a goal against St. Louis, and they made in the 7-3 win against St. Louis at home. Since then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of the last 12, he hasn't registered a point. He had a -3 against Florida when they lost 5-1. That's a -3. He's had a -1 for the past 3 games. Actually, 13. The past. So, 10 of the last 12, 11 of the last 13, actually, he hasn't registered a point. 11 of the last 13. I've missed the San Jose game on there. I'm looking at Hockey Reference. If not, if you don't know what that is, it's a great web page. Look it up. They got all hockey stats galore. But he hasn't registered a point in 11 of the last 13 games. This is a problem. I want him gone. I want him traded. I thought getting this guy was going to help us a lot. He was coming from the Kraken, where he was doing okay. Stats for when he was on the Kraken. He had 37 points last season. He then had a weird off year with 16, and then he had 39 in 2022-2023. And before that, he was on Colorado, where he was having 61 points. So the guy's just fallen off a cliff ever since 2021-2022. So, I don't know. I think we need to get rid of him. I also want Dickinson gone because Dickinson is just injury prone and he's old, and I want him gone. But other than that, Mikheyev I'm on the fence with. Do I want to trade him or not? Yes, trade him to get him some to get some sort of assets, but you keep him because he's such a good, valuable player. I know we have players in the pipeline that will probably replace him, but what do I do? It's kind of a hard decision with Mikheyev. Do I keep him and scratch him and maybe put him in when we need help, or do we get rid of him and get something else? But if there's 2 guys I want traded, it's Burakovsky and Dickinson. I want those 2 gone by the deadline. Other guys that are gone on certain teams before the deadline, the biggest news that came out about 2 hours ago today, Artemi Panarin being traded to the Los Angeles Kings. This is a really interesting trade. So the Kings get Artemi Panarin, and the Rangers get Liam Greentree, a 20-year-old right winger, a third, and then 2026 third round pick, and a 2028 fourth round pick. And they have to retain about half of Artemi Panarin's salary, which is $5,821,429. The Kings just got an absolute steal. This might be worse than when we traded Panarin. This is just as bad. Like, only a third and the Kings gave you a third and a fourth round pick. You got a third and a fourth round pick and a 6'3" left shot right winger who I don't even know who this guy is. What's his stats? Does he have any stats? He hasn't played one NHL. Okay, wait a minute. This makes it worse. I didn't know this. You're here to tell me that the Kings got Artemi Panarin for a bag of chips and a peanut, basically. This guy, he's got 45 points on the OHL with the Windsor Spitfires. You know who's also on the Windsor Spitfires? If I'm correct, it's AJ Spellicy. AJ Spellicy is on the Windsor Spitfires, if I am correct. I might be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure this guy, yeah, he is on the Windsor Spitfires. AJ Spellicy, let's look at looking at his stats. AJ Spellicy this season, I doubt he has 45 points in the league. He's got 20. 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points in 38 games. You're here to tell me that this guy who hasn't played one NHL game has 45 points. He's got one more penalty minute that he has points in the OHL. This is the guy that they traded Artemi Panarin, who, by the way, 34 years old, and is having a gosh darn good season of 19 goals, 38 assists, and 57 points in 52 games on a terrible, terrible Rangers team. Do you know how bad the Rangers are? Let me put this in perspective to you, how bad the Rangers are. They're 22, 28, and 6. They have 50 points. You know what that puts them? That puts them right above St. Louis and Vancouver and tied with Calgary. You know how many points back they are from the next best team in the Eastern Conference? New Jersey with 58. Artemi Panarin has 57 points on a losing team. The Hawks have more points. They have 53. They have more points than the New York Rangers. You're telling me that this is what was the trade? We all saw it coming. The Rangers were going to trade. The Rangers were going to trade him. We didn't know if it was going to be before or after the deadline, before or after the break, the Olympic break. It happened before. But you're telling me that they gave up the number one left winger for some 20-year-old? I think this is a bad trade. I think this is terrible. You could have gotten so much more back for Artemi Panarin. You were only able to scrounge up a 4th and a 6th round pick for Panarin? That's ridiculous. Like, what did Columbus give up when they got Artemi Panarin? Like, I'm curious. What were the trades with this? Chicago, we traded Artemi Panarin, Tyler Mott, and a 6th round pick in 2017 for Brandon Saad, Anton Forsberg, and a 5th round pick. Granted, that was Artemi Panarin after like a good, like, I think this was his second year, first or second season. But you got Forsberg, Saad, and a 5th. And all they managed for a now 34-year-old Artemi Panarin, because this trade happened back in 2017. We're 10 years later. So he went from 24 to 34. You're telling me that the only thing that happened was a 4th and a 6th round pick and some 20-year-old who hasn't played one game in the NHL? The Rangers are burning the boats. The Rangers are falling apart. They might be just as bad as the Cleveland Browns because they're falling apart. Retool? This isn't a retool. This is a full-blown nuclear explosion. It's a complete meltdown, if I had to say. So that's my thoughts on the Artemi Panarin trade, because I think that's ridiculous. That you had to retain half his salary. You only got a 4th and a 6th round pick and some 20-year-old. That's kind of bad. I would have expected a way more for a top guy in the league, a left winger who's got 50, almost 60 points in the league. That's crazy. Now back to the rest of this game. Sorry for my little rant. The Hawks. Some keys to the game. Get on the power play. I think you can score with this power play against this penalty kill. This is not a good penalty kill. Get on the power play. Don't slow down. Don't slump back. Don't relax. It's the last game. Don't think about tomorrow. Think about this game. Don't worry about, all right, we're going to have a little break. What do we need to do for the break? Focus on this game. So focus on this game, get on the power play. Those are the 2 keys I got. Focus on this game, get on the power play. That is my keys to game. The pick of the game. I am picking for this game Frank Nazar. I think Frank Nazar gets on the score sheet. I was right about Connor Bedard getting on the score sheet. I think Frank Nazar gets on the score sheet after being a bit quiet against that San Jose game. He wasn't too quiet. People are saying he was invisible. I saw him. He was doing some plays. He was making some good plays. He just didn't get on the score sheet. And there's a difference between getting on the score sheet and playing well. Like, there's a difference. If you get on the score sheet, okay, yeah, a really good game. But if you don't get on the score sheet, you can still play well, and I think he still played well. And this might be the last time that we see him with his modified helmet with the visor and all that. It's got like the rear chin guard. Other than that, I think that's all I've got for this episode. Hopefully the Hawks win, going into the Olympic break. We end a 6-game win streak for the Blue Jackets, and we'll get this will be the last pregame for Hawks hockey until the Olympics are done, and I'm excited for the Olympics. I'm so excited. Wish Poland was there. They're not, but Team USA is there, and Team USA is looking like a unit. I'm excited. We'll get more into that Olympic stuff in a later video, but other than that, that's all I got. I'm AJ Neihart for the Superfan Network saying so long for now. Go Hawks. Enjoy the game.